What's going on? What's going on? I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I've been gone for quite a while. Had to get some things done in the house. I thank God that it's all done and cleared up, and I'm real excited about that. As you can see, I'm showing my wife's school some love. Middlesex County, um, really good school. I should say Middlesex College. Excuse me. I gotta remember that they moved up to Division II this year. They did quite well in their first year of Division II. So showing Middlesex some love. Listen, before I get started, please like and subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps to grow the subscription base, which I'm very appreciative of. And I do appreciate your support in advance. This particular episode is actually episode 144. Be Objective is actually the title. So I'm going to get started with that. And I want to say, just to give you some background on this. So Be Objective, there's a whole piece that I put together with this. And think about it this way. So try to turn the tables around and see if you can really look at somebody else's point of view. When I'm talking about, be objective, if you can turn the tables and try to look at it through somebody else's lens, through somebody else's point of view, through somebody else's perspective, I think it will really help you to settle down and really sit down and speaking to people and kind of collectively coming together when you have issues. It's kind of hard not to see somebody else's opinion or not to see somebody else's objective or not to see where somebody else is coming from when you're kind of bullheaded and you're only looking at something through one lens. It's real difficult, in my humble opinion, to try to have a conversation of open dialogue with someone when they're already tuned out. They're not looking to hear your objective. They're not looking to hear your opinion. That's not good. So I always say, again, if you want to really have open dialogue to really discuss whatever issues that are on the table, it's always good to look at it through somebody else's objective. You have to. Everybody has opinions, right? We all have our opinions. But I think it's really crucial when you can see it through somebody else's lens. So it doesn't really matter the differences. We all have differences. But if you are open enough to have some conversations with people and you're getting down to the nitty gritty, and you can be objective with listening, you can be objective with giving your opinions, you can be objective with somebody else inserting their opinions on your thoughts. I think that's so cool. I think you get so much done. It's so much more connectivity if you can do that. It becomes real problematic when you're trying to listen through, kind of like closed ears, so to speak. You're sitting at a meeting or you're hearing something, but you're really not being objective. You're really not being open-minded to that other person's point of view. So how, in fact, do you ever think you're going to get any feasible change if you're coming to the table already closed-minded? You're not looking to even listen. So I'm saying with anything, with any meeting, big or small, if you're closed off to being objective, then you might as well not even attend the meeting, because you're not going to get a chance to. You're really not adding anything to a meeting when you go in with that mindset. If anything, you're taking away from the people who are objective, who are, even though they're opinionated, their objectives or their ability to listen clearly and then implement thought on somebody else's ideas and concepts. It's real cool when you can do that, because there's a cohesive unit that can work together. And you can reach across the aisle, you can reach across the table, you can reach each other and meet in the middle to get something done by being objective. I think we would be so much further along as a group of people if we were all able to sit at a table and be objective to each other's thoughts. When you don't have that, you have chaos. We're all different, right? So just because I may see something a little bit differently than my counterpart doesn't make that person wrong and make me right. It doesn't make me, vice versa. It doesn't. What it does, if you're able to have, again, an open mind, it allows for more dialogue. It allows for more opportunities. It allows for a much bigger atmosphere of conversation, a better atmosphere of conversation when you are open minded. Somebody can't walk in a room, man, and shake the whole room and you shape the conversation based on what you want. That doesn't work. That doesn't solve any problems. It doesn't help to open up any doors. If anything, it's almost like if you're one track minded, there's no other opportunities to go from 1 to 2 to 3 if you're one track minded. If that's all you bring to the table, then you need not, like I said, you need not be at any meetings because it doesn't help anybody. And please don't be the type of individual that come to the table or come to a meeting and you already have your agenda in the bag, right? That definitely doesn't help anybody. It doesn't serve a greater purpose. Now, it may serve an individual's purpose, it may serve your purpose, but it doesn't serve the greater purpose. So whenever someone comes to the table and you can feel the vibe, they walk in the room. This joker's on that bull again. This person is going to come. We had a really good thing going. And then all of a sudden, this one person comes in and changes the whole trajectory of the meeting, changes the whole flow. You can see that happening. So this particular episode, I wanted to focus on be objective, try to be objective in everything that you do, because if you have the ability to do that, that means you're open. You can be open to a lot of things. The more options you have, the more options you put on the table, the more open you are, the more opportunities will be. I think the more narrow-minded you are in conceptual thoughts, the way most people think, my way or the highway, that's old hat right now. That's old school. I don't think you're going to get too much done with that. I really don't. When you see the most successful companies, the most successful people, the most successful groups, it's those who are open-minded and they can come to the table and sit amongst each other, hash out differences, bring some unity together and get things done. That's the only way you see these companies that are growing by leaps and bounds. It's because everybody on that team and in that unit, they understand that. Very few times you have successful companies nowadays, I'm talking about, that's one track minded and it's my way or the highway works. You don't see that anymore. So I'm going to say being objective, you see the success and you see the growth pattern with that, then that means you're doing something right. I don't ever think you're going to get what you want if you're closed-minded. Being objective means you're going to be open-minded to everybody else's feelings, thoughts, and the processes that they go through, and it's not just about you. So to me, that's the kind of success that I want with anybody that I'm working with, any group of people or even individuals that come to the table, like-minded individuals. It's all about being open-minded and being objective. If you can't do that, there's no real way to even think about being successful on a much, much larger scale. So keep that in mind. Think about somebody else's point of view. It's not just about you. Collectively, if we're all on the same page, we all will win. If we're not on the same page and one person runs the whole roost and rules the whole thing, that's not going to work. Like I said, that's old school. Always keep in mind, it's always good to have two heads are better than one. And especially if both those heads are being objective and open-minded to new concepts and new thoughts. It's one to grow on. I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I'll see you next week. Take care.